Hi there, I'm Beth, and today I've taken part in a very special collaboration. Along with Marna of Dolls Rescued, Jay from J Dolls UK, and Peacecraft Dolls with Tammy Powley, I'll be customising a Middie Blythe doll. I've chosen this one to transform. She's from AliExpress and has grey eyes. They can move from side to side. Her hair is incredibly long, with a slight curl. It has a few different shades mixed together. There's definitely blue and silver or grey in there. It's so lovely. I think I'll be giving her a big haircut though, so don't get used to the length. Our collaboration theme is simply Winter Middie Blythes. I love seasonal themed dolls and have already started knitting for her. This is just acrylic yarn in white and a lovely cold blue. I'm making a two-tone jumper and I'm trying out some new knitting supplies from my birthday. I've also made her a cute hat to match. I mixed crochet and knit stitches and stitched a pom-pom on top as well as these tiny pom-poms at the end of these ties. I think she's going to suit being a winter Blythe, and I'm so excited to see the other dolls that my friends create. So please be sure to watch all our videos. Their links are all in the description below. Let's get ready to customize her. I like to start by sanding the face plates, even when they're already matte like this. To open up an AliExpress Middie, unscrew the back first. I press on the sides of the head, at the ears, to try and pop open the two halves. If you can't get a finger in there to gently pry them apart, you can use a flat screwdriver, but be careful not to dent the plastic though. You might be able to slip the body out first. Here you can see the ball top and the cover that's held together with little extra bits. A little more prying gets the head open and we see the other part of that neck cover. The eye mechanism is held in with two more screws. Then it pops out like this. The scalp is held in with one more screw. Here's the inside of the faceplate, and the eye mechanism too. The eyelashes and eyelids are held on with a screw at the front. If you're going to change the eye colour, you can poke out the existing chips from the back here. There are little holes. I'll be giving this a try later on. Put on a dust mask before you start sanding. I'm using some sponge-backed sandpaper. It's really good at following a curved surface. The grit is approximately 500 or 600. I like to spray a little water to help catch the dust, and I use a white melamine sponge, or magic eraser, to clean the face as I go. With a regular pencil, I start sketching some guidelines for my carving. This can be easily wiped away and reapplied as I progress. I like to use a combination of hand tools and a rotary tool when I customize. In particular, I like these curved blades, and I've put a fine grinding bit into a pin vise handle. I'm trying out some new hand tools today. These have more comfortable looking handles than my other ones. I'm starting by carving material away from above the drawn-on upper lip line. You'll have to have a very light touch, and I have found the hand tools are less messy than the rotary tool. I'll round off the tip of the nose and start to define the sides of the nose. I clean away the dust and check my progress regularly. I use a couple of ball-tipped carving bits to redefine the nostrils. Once I'm just about happy with the nose and mouth, I mark on the upper eye holes where I want to try opening them out a little more. I noticed that the eyelids of the AliExpress middies are almost completely hidden compared to a stock Middie. I want to try to get mine looking more like a stock doll so I can paint the eyelids and actually see them. I try out the eye mechanism to see if there's any difference. Yes, I can actually see the eyelids. I'm happy with that. My winter Middie faceplates get a good clean and will wait until morning for the next step. I've given them a spray in the airbrush booth with Mr. Super Clear Flat UV Cut. And then some airbrush blushing with acrylic paint, followed by more Mr. Super Clear. This gives me a nice base to start the face up and to paint something nice on the back. I thought about winter and something I love to see at this time of year, and sketched out some snowdrops on the back plate. I love to see their green stems and leaves sprouting out of the snow, and decided that would make a pretty name for her too. I'm painting with acrylic paints and will add detail with a fine tip pen. Once finished, I spray a few more coats of Mr. Super Clear. I decided to paint the eyelids green as well, to tie in with the snowdrops. Using soft makeup brushes, I pick up pigment scraped from chalk pastels and brush it onto her face to colour her lips, cheeks and upper eyes. This process takes a while. The colour is built up gradually with layers of MSC in between. Each layer must dry fully before continuing. I'm not fully finished, but I want to try customizing her eyes now. I push out the eye chips as I mentioned before. Nice and easy, they don't seem to be glued in. They look just like smaller versions of the Neo eye chips. First, I try some blue ones I made. I designed my own page of irises and printed them out, and I finished these off with UV resin. They're cute, but I think I'll be going with green eyes. Yes, I love these. Okay, it's time to give her some eyebrows. For this, I'll use a selection of watercolour pencils. They can be used dry and sharp-pointed to draw with, or you can wet a small brush and lift the pigment off that way instead. I use a combination of both and start with brown before adding in blue and green strands of hair too. I feel this matches her hair and character perfectly. I add clear glossy varnish to her lips and I think her face is done. She looks so rosy-cheeked and cute. What do you think of her so far? I put her back together temporarily and decide it's time for a haircut. I wrap her body in fabric and clamp her very gently in place while I comb and cut her hair. I spent some time trimming and thinning out her hair with these tools. And here she is. I really love what a difference the thinning makes. It makes her hair feel more natural and to the right scale for her size. Okay, time for her clothes. I won't get into all the details, but I was developing a new pattern to try out, a long scrunched sleeve technique, and I finished knitting her jumper as well. I ended up making her 2 full clothes sets. Here's the first set, and her hat, now finished with a shimmery snowflake. Her lovely jumper with a matching snowflake on the front, and a pretty gathered skirt using pale blue Peter Rabbit Christmas fabric. It's fastened with a clear snap at the back and a placket or overlapped opening. The edges are all overlocked and I will be sewing in my custom labels later too. My husband and I have been developing these doll clothes displays recently too. This one is midi sized and can be freestanding with the base, or it can hang up on a clothes rail or be displayed flat on a wall without it. You can even display tights or socks if you have them hanging up. These will be available at bethramsden.com in Neo and Midi size. Here's Snowdrop with her other clothes set, and underwear which I made for her too. Her socks and pants are matching with an elastic lace trim. Here's the result of my pattern development. A slouched sleeve with fully lined inside, and it doesn't unravel like some other designs. The skirt is made from this gorgeous cream fairy-like fabric, so textured, and it fastens with a snap in the back too. Everything's tucked in and hand sewn inside, very neat. I added a lace collar, some iron-on decals for the front, and a delicate ribbon waistband, both with green leaves to match with her eyes and Snowdrop artwork. I really think it suits her well. She looks so delicate and pretty. Here's a hair clip I sewed to match her waistband. Next is this crossbody bag made from light-coloured leather with a pale blue ribbon strap. The flap closes with a magnet and tiny rivet, can be opened up and is adjustable with the strap buckle. Here I've made her a second pair of socks. These have a folded top and are supposed to slouch down. Since middies can use the same shoes as Neo size, with a little padding, I thought this would look cosy and help her boots fit nicely. And here are her boots, made from the same leather as the bag, which is all recycled from sofa sample books that were destined for landfill. I've created this pattern myself and sewn it using saddle stitch. I folded over the tops because I think it looks really cute and tied the laces over them. I'm so happy with these, you know I adore making tiny shoes. They have a proper left and right too. I love how they look on her, nice and secure, and she can actually stand alone with them too. What do you think of her? Does she look ready for some wintry weather? Here she is with her socks and boots on, with the jumper and hat. You can wrap the ties around her neck to look like a scarf and keep her hat on tight. I'm really going to miss her, but I am happy to say she will be my first custom doll that will be offered for sale. Yes, she's going to be added to my website very soon, so we'll need something to travel in. I looked out some pretty fabric and quilt batting to make her a soft and cosy travelling bag. It's time to pack up all her things, ready for travelling to her new family. While I get her all wrapped up, let me remind you about the other talented ladies in this winter Middie collab. Marna at Dolls Rescued has lots of doll stands, clothes sets, and accessories for sale at WhimsicalBlythe.com. And I believe she's planning to sell some customised dolls too. Tammy from Priestcraft Dolls has an Etsy shop called KawaiiDollShop, selling postcard sets, and will be hosting her second virtual Blythe retreat this year. Jay of J Dolls UK has a tremendous collection of all sorts of dolls and often sells on eBay, so be sure to check her out there too. They're each wonderful creators, and you'll find all their links in the description below. I'm delighted to be attending BlytheCon UK as a vendor this year. Yes, I'll have a table at the convention, so we'll be working hard all year to make things to show and sell there. I also wanted to let you all know, as the channel nears 10,000 subscribers, thank you all so much by the way, I will be customizing a doll to give away. So make sure you're subscribed and have the bell on for notifications if you want to know more about that. I will soon be adding my lovely custom Middie Snowdrop to my website, bethramsden.com, and she will go live Sunday, February 19th at 6 p.m. UK time. So please set yourself a reminder if you're interested in having her for yourself. I already have my next custom doll well underway, so keep an eye out for her soon too. Well, thank you all so much for watching today. I couldn't be happier with how my winter Middie Snowdrop came out. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this and let me know what you think of her in the comments. I love to see you all there. I'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye!